Imagine you buy a ticket to a concert for $50. On the night of the show, you feel exhausted, you're coming down with a cold, and the weather is miserable. You know for certain that if you go, you'll have a bad time. And yet, you drag yourself out anyway. Why? Almost everyone gives the same answer. Because I already paid for it. But here's the strange part. That money is gone whether you go or not. Staying home doesn't get it back. So why does it feel like leaving that ticket unused would be throwing money away? You've just met one of the most expensive mistakes the human mind makes. It's called the sunk cost fallacy, and it's quietly running your life in ways you've never noticed. Let's define it clearly. A sunk cost is any time, money, or effort you've already spent and can never get back. The fallacy is letting that unrecoverable cost drive your future decisions, throwing good resources after bad simply because you've already invested. A rational mind asks only one question. Going forward from right now, is this worth it? But the human mind can't stop looking backward at what it's already poured in. And this shows up in decisions far bigger than a concert ticket. Think about the person who stays in a job they hate because they've already spent 5 years there. The couple who stays in a relationship that's clearly over because they've already been together a decade. The investor who keeps pouring money into a failing venture because they've already sunk so much in. In every case, the past investment, which is gone, unchangeable, is holding them hostage in a worse future. There's even a famous version of this at the scale of nations. When two governments spent enormous sums developing a supersonic passenger jet, it became clear partway through that the project would never make money. The logical move was to stop. But they kept going, pouring in more and more, precisely because they'd already spent so much. Economists now sometimes call the sunk cost fallacy the Concorde fallacy, named after that very plane. When even entire governments fall for it, you can see how deep this wiring runs. So why does our brain do this? Why can't we just let the past go? The biggest reason is something psychologists call loss aversion. Study after study has shown that the pain of losing something is psychologically about twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining something of equal value. Losing $20 hurts more than finding $20 feels good. And here's the trick your mind plays. Walking away from an investment feels like locking in a loss. As long as you keep going, you can tell yourself it's not truly lost yet. Quitting forces you to finally feel the loss. So you keep going, not because it's wise, but to avoid the sting of admitting the money or years are gone.
The second reason is about identity. We don't like seeing ourselves as people who make mistakes or give up. Abandoning something you've invested in means admitting, I was wrong to start this. That's a bruise to the ego. So we keep going to protect our self-image, to avoid confronting a decision we now regret. In a strange way, we throw away even more just to avoid admitting we threw away the first part. Now here's how to actually beat this, because you can once you can see it. First, learn to recognize the tell. Whenever you notice yourself justifying a decision with the words, but I've already spent so much, time, money, or effort, stop. That exact phrase is the alarm bell of the sunk cost fallacy. The amount you've already spent is, by definition, irrelevant to what you should do next. It's gone either way. Second, use what's called the fresh start question. Ask yourself, if I were deciding this today, with none of my past investment, knowing what I know now, would I choose to start? If you wouldn't sign up for that job, that project, that commitment fresh today, then your only reason for continuing is the sunk cost, and that's no reason at all. This single question cuts through the fog instantly. Third, reframe what quitting actually means. We're taught that quitting is failure, that winners never quit. But walking away from something that no longer serves you isn't failure, it's redirection. Every hour, dollar, or ounce of energy you stop pouring into a dead end is one you free up for something that could actually work. Smart people aren't the ones who never quit. They're the ones who quit the right things at the right time. And fourth, forgive your past self. Part of what keeps us stuck is the shame of a bad decision. But the version of you that made that choice had less information than you have now. They did their best with what they knew. Honoring that choice doesn't mean serving it a life sentence. The bravest thing you can do is look at what you've invested, accept that it's gone, and choose your future based on where you actually want to go. Here's the truth to hold on to. The past is already paid for. Every decision you make from this moment forward should be about the road ahead, not the money already spent behind you. You are not obligated to finish something just because you started it. You are not required to keep walking down a path just because you've already walked a long way. The most powerful question you can ask isn't, "How much have I put into this?" It's, "Where do I want to go from here?" So this week, find one thing in your life you're only continuing because you've already invested in it, and ask the fresh start question. The answer might just set you free. If this gave you permission to let something go, there's a whole playlist of these waiting for you. I'll see you in the next one.